He parked his car, was meeting up with some friends, but he actually never made it there. Now we can see that there's still blood on the sidewalk from the fight that happened. They found 60-year-old Alfred Garza dead inside the trailer. Now if we look here, the screen's been cut and the door broken. Investigators were using rakes to dig through the ashes, trying to find any clues that might tell them where this fire started. Fred said that he would check his mail every day for the ballot, but every day it would be empty. As you can see behind me, this house on Rotama Avenue was completely destroyed by the fire. Now let's just take a look at the couple's front lawn. We can see their belongings have been burnt to pieces. These cones have actually been put out around to warn oncoming traffic of this. Let's take a look over here at this hole that's about 6 feet deep. Earlier today, a Louisiana man who spent the last 15 years on death row became the 300th person to be exonerated by DNA evidence. You can still see the markings of where police found the man. For the first time, the sales are starting at 9 p.m. here at Target, so the crowds just keep getting bigger. If we take a look, the crowd has about doubled in the last hour.
This morning when I saw him, he said, "Hi, Dad," and then reached out to hug me and stuff, and so he obviously recognized me.
And while that's great progress, there are still some days Eric Schwarlick doesn't recognize his own father, Don. That's after Eric was punched in the face while walking downtown last Saturday. That punch knocked him unconscious. Almost a week later, he's still in the ICU, having trouble walking and talking. But this isn't the first tragedy the Schwarlick family has had to deal with.
They say that God adjusts the load to the shoulders and stuff, and I wanted to ask God to do a recheck on his measurements, since I'm not real sure anymore.
8 years ago, when Don's daughter Lauren was only 14, she was raped. Then 2 years ago, Don was told his wife Christina wasn't going to survive a complicated heart disease.
I remember waking up every morning thinking, oh my God, what a nightmare that was and stuff, and then you realize and you go, geez, that wasn't a nightmare. That's for real now.
Christina lived, but the medical bills put the Schwarlick family in bankruptcy, and even that wasn't the end of the family's troubles.
7 days after I got the news about my wife, the business I'd been helping to build for quite a few years had collapsed.
Still trying to pay off old medical bills, Eric's condition brings on a whole set of new ones, and now family and friends are helping the Schwarlick family in this time of need. Eric's cousin created this website, www.giveforward.com/SwirlichLove. Anyone who wants to donate some money to the family just clicks right here. A website that has already raised over $2,000 and has given Don hope.
You know, when you look at what one person did, you want to say, what's this world coming to? And then you see all of this. You don't lose hope.
Mia Gordon, KRIS 6 News. But what we know so far is Halo Flight got the call around 9:30 and then brought Wally Alanis here to Spawn Memorial Hospital, where he was treated for a gunshot wound to the head. They picked Alanis up from his home in Orange Grove on County Road 3101, just off of County Road 305. Texas Rangers and other law enforcement are investigating the case, but at this point they have not released any information. We also did ask them if Alanis had shot himself or if someone else was involved in the shooting, but again, they were not releasing any information at this point. However, neighbors in the area say Alanis was a friendly, kind person, and they were shocked when they heard the news. They say they never expected this to happen.
Always happy, cheerful, you know, worried about the neighbors. Wanted to get a neighborhood watch deal going around here. Always inviting people over for barbecue, dove hunts. I mean, he's just an all-out nice guy.
Now, last we heard, Alanis was in critical condition, and of course we are trying to contact the Texas Rangers and other law enforcement to try and get updates, and as soon as we find out more information, we will let you know. Reporting live, I'm Mia Gordon, KRIS 6 News. According to court officials, Nicholas Garcia told the court that his actions were justified because of his religious beliefs and because he made his ex-girlfriend, the victim in this case, sign a contract that gave him permission to discipline her. We spoke with the victim, Stephanie Caballera, and got her side of the story. Nicholas Garcia, acting as his own attorney, smiled and laughed as he questioned family members during his trial, even after being found guilty of aggravated assault and family violence. But someone else in the court today was not smiling. Stephanie Caballera, who dated Garcia in 2011, says she was a victim to his violence numerous times.
I suffered a broken jaw, fractured sternum, and then the whole side of my face is completely reconstructed. I had titanium and screws holding my face together.
But according to Garcia, the injuries he caused Stephanie were all okay. Because of this contract, he had her sign that states, quote, Stephanie would devote her mind, body, and soul to service his desired needs, and if any punishment is made for defiance on her part, will be in Garcia's accord.
So were you afraid if you didn't sign these papers, he might beat you again?
Oh, I knew he would. I knew he would, but regardless of the fact, it still just doesn't give you the right to put your hands on anyone.
You can see the injuries Garcia caused in these pictures of Stephanie, black eye and bruises. And Stephanie recalls what happened one time she tried to say no to her ex-boyfriend.
I refused to walk down the alleyway with him. He grabbed a hold of my hat and pretty much put down so hard, so much pressure that it ripped the skin off my forehead.
Having to see the man that caused her so much pain has not been easy.
At first it was scary, then I became very strong. And I just kept God by my side, and I knew I can get through it.
And the fact that he wouldn't keep quiet during her testimony didn't help.
He got up and put his hands in there, and he demanded that I drop the charges.
No matter what the outcome of his punishment, Stephanie hopes he will learn a lesson.
Maybe one day he'll finally click and realize that a woman is not a punching bag.
Now, Garcia was mentally evaluated and found incompetent, but because he represented himself, he waived his right to pleading insane. We are still waiting on the outcome of the punishment. He could face anywhere between 5 to 99 years, and he's also facing another charge of family violence. Live in the studio, I'm Mia Gordon, Action 10 News.